Hey everyone, this is Calvar. Update 44 for the Elder Scrolls Online has dropped on PC and on EU. And this update is primarily known as a big PvP update. And that's going to be great for people who are interested in PvP. One of the things I noticed, though, and I did notice before when the update 44 was being tested on the PTS, I did know that a somewhat significant PvE change, well, not really significant, it is basically if you are a person that's interested in the story and you like to role play the story, we're going back a little bit. So the major change that the Elder Scrolls Online has made is that when you start a new character now and you play the tutorial, you can actually start your adventure in Coldharbour and do the tutorial now. And that's a big shift. It used to be over the years that you would start in the new zone, and there was a new zone in the Blackwood update where everyone was being dropped off and you got a portal view of many of these zones in the game. But Elder Scrolls is changing that, and so I want to take a few minutes to talk about that and to go over those changes. So for those of you who like to play the story, I think you'll find this interesting. So let's go to the actual update, and this is written by Zos Kevin, who is one of the community managers for the Elder Scrolls Online. And he says, new character revisions. As a part of ongoing efforts to improve the experience for new players, we have made some changes to the way new players are onboarded into the Elder Scrolls Online. And here is the big change. So, Soul Shriven in Coldharbour. The first chapter of the original main quest now serves as the tutorial and starting point for all new characters. And that's a big change because that was the way the game initially launched. And then when we started getting DLCs, it progressed into a new tutorial for each of the DLCs, starting with the Vardenfell chapter launch. The previous tutorial quest, Gates of Adamant, is retired, but you can still finish the quest if your character is still in progress. Those who are in the state of having completed Gates of Adamant, but not having completed Soul Shriven in Coldharbour, will engage in that story as before. The hooded figure will appear to you when entering a major city, and you will be brought to the Wailing Prison as normal if you acquire the quest this way. You may skip the character tutorial after your first time if you prefer, and that's not a change. You'll automatically complete the quest and be eligible for subsequent quests in the storyline, starting with the Harborage upon reaching your first major city of your alliance. So that's somewhat of a minor change. So I guess you're going to be skipping the hooded figure. Well, we'll read on a little bit. There's a spoiler. And we recognize that much of what you experience in the space is repetitive for veteran Elder Scrolls Online players. The changes and updates were made based on careful data gathering and analysis, specifically how and why new players engage with or choose to avoid certain experiences based on what they were taught early on. Of course, we can't force players to engage with certain mechanics, and I think Kevin is mainly addressing the tutorial mechanics that the game tries to teach you at the very beginning. Beyond those first moments where we, do, and I'm not quite sure what he means by that, but anyway, just so you know what is being taught at the time. But ensuring we've taken time to explain the basics to the uninitiated is super important. More can and will be done on this front in the future. So what I'd like to see, and I think a lot of players in the game have mentioned this, I'd like to have some kind of indication in the game of the story order. It doesn't have to be forced. No one's requesting that the story order be forced or anything. But for new players coming in and having no idea of the story order and basically being lost in terms of the story order is concerned, I think that's kind of a bad look for the game. And even if it's something as simple as putting some kind of indication in your zone map, some kind of text, something so you can easily start at the very beginning, which it looks like now you can, and go through the zones in story order and go through the Craglorn, I'm sorry, not the Craglorn, the Caldwell's gold and silver quest lines that you complete after you defeat Moloch Ball, which is a spoiler for those of you who may be new to the game, but most of you are interested in this or not new. And then progressing into the DLC zones. So I think it's a good change. I think it's a step in the right direction. And what we're going to do is I'm going to play the tutorial and get a look for it myself. I didn't look at it when it was on the PTS, and we'll see what's changed. I can go through and read everything else in terms of like what it says that you'll be experiencing in the new tutorial, but I think it may be better to just go ahead and experience it and see how it does, and hopefully you'll stay along with me and we'll go through the tutorial. Okay, I am on the PC EU server and I'm at the character select screen, and I'm going to create a new character. And for anyone who's curious that plays with me, and for anyone that is curious, I play on the NA server a lot, and I am a raid/trial lead for a social/trials guild on PC NA. Anyway, I am full of characters, all 20 on my NA account, so I can't create a new character on PC NA. So I'm going to create one in the EU. I have 10 characters right now, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new character. So, and then we'll see what the tutorial has to offer. So I'm going to create a new character, and I'm going to create an Arcanist. So I'll make the character female, and I think we'll go for Dark Elf, and make sure it's an Arcanist. Okay, there we go. And check the body. I'm not one of these that makes a whole lot of adjustments to characters. Make her a little taller. After all, she is one of these hardy adventurers that goes through turmoil. Face, I guess more heroic. Look this. I usually don't stress over this. That, yeah, it's fine. Sounds fine. Hair color, a little brown. Okay, I think that looks fine. One final look, I guess maybe the eyes. Maybe the eyes look like she's had one too many. I don't know. Okay, that's a little more alive looking. Okay. All right, and I'm going to give her a name. I like to do a little role play, so we'll just call her Aria Inkwell. So if you're playing an Arcanist, sort of role-playing vibes there. I'm not really one of these super duper role players, just minor role players. Okay, and I think we're good. So let's go ahead and create the character. Now we get the standard option to skip the tutorial, and we're going to choose play, and we're logging in. Depending on how long this takes, I may pause the video. Now, I understand there was supposed to be a cinematic.
How do you feel? Can you move?
Okay, so I heard the prophet's voice. I thought, according to the notes, I was supposed to meet him in here. Now, one of the changes they have in the notes was that the character will start in third person. And if you like to play in first person, you can certainly do that. So toggling first person, and I don't have any add-ons running at the moment, and I'm just going to make some minor settings changes. Combat, we'll turn on ability timers, and I'm not going to actually use any add-ons for this tutorial, just to keep the game closer to the console, I guess, perspective, or no add-on perspective. Bus and debus, I usually have this on automatic, and I usually turn off the permanent effects. And for controls, I'm just going to make a couple changes. I'm going to change the roll dodge key to my gamepad. It's mapped to a 0 on my gamepad. I'm going to change the synergy key, and I'm going to change the weapon swap key. And I think I'm good. I don't think I need to make any more customizations. This isn't about character creation or creating like the bestest character setup. So let's get the story started. Okay. So we have this E to interact, and so that's a change.
Slowly now. You've been through an ordeal. Take a few moments to collect yourself.
Okay, what's happening? Who are you?
Like you, I'm a prisoner in this place. Yet so much more. I am the past and the future, both. I am despair and hope. The tapestry we weave is a complex one. You cannot hope to see its pattern in its entirety. Not yet.
Okay, what do you want from me?
You must rescue me, and I, in turn, must rescue you. You must escape from this cell, take up arms, and protect yourself. Then find Lyris Titanborn.
Lyris Titanborn? Who's that? I don't understand. Oh.
There. Are you all right? The name's Lyris. I hope you've still got some fight left in you. You're going to need it.
Okay, I'll open the... Okay, so one of the changes... Oh, I don't have anything on me. Okay. All right, so one of the changes... Okay, so we have Lyris here.
Must have been the runt of the litter.
We'll search this to Dromortro. And an Inferno Staff.
Keep your weapon ready and stay sharp. This place is full of surprises.
And I am on an Arcanist. Okay, so maybe I need to read that. So we'll press I to open our inventory. We'll equip our Inferno Staff. There is a guy which says, okay, here comes this guy. Tap to light attack. Some aspects of the tutorial were supposedly changed, okay. And we gain it. Oh, okay, so this boss drops the weapon, and according to the notes, the weapon this guy drops is based on your class. I'm going to go ahead and equip the daggers. So I think that corpse was a random weapon. Hold shift to sprint. Okay.
Don't stop now. Keep moving. More guards are on the way.
Now there used to be a table of weapons, but let's fight this guy. Hold to block, okay. And then heavy attack. Hold to block. All right, heavy attack. Okay. Hold the block. Okay, so it's forcing you to go through these. So in the, here's another one. Press to interrupt, okay. Okay, so it's making you interrupt. Okay, so before you only really had in the previous tutorials, you only had to like heavy attack once or do whatever it was that they were trying to teach you. So that's interesting. So that's a change. And there used to be weapons on this table. Sometimes there's weapons on this table. You can pick up your broad bone. And so one of the other changes that they mentioned in the patch notes was that when you go and loot things, you're not going to get like provisioning supplies. You're just going, you're just going to get like maybe gnawed bones or stuff that you can vendor. And this is towards the idea of not overwhelming players with all kinds of pop-up messages, because if you loot say you loot some bananas for the first time, that'll give you a pop-up that you have now acquired provisioning. So I think they're trying to cut down on some of the information overload. Let's talk to Lyris.
This place is an abomination. You can almost feel the hatred emanating from every rock.
Who are you?
A fellow prisoner. The name's Lyris.
Lyris Titanborn? I was told to find you.
What? Who told you to find me?
A strange figure appeared in my cell, an old man in rags.
The Prophet. He spoke to you? What did he say?
He said our fates are intertwined.
Ha. That sounds like the Prophet, all right. He's a prisoner here too. It was very dangerous for him to speak to you even for a moment. You must think you can help me.
I can still hear his voice in my head. What does he want me to help you do?
Break him out, of course. Believe me, I can use all the help I can get. That blind old man is the only person alive who can help us get back home. Tamriel's a long way from here.
Okay, then I'll help you.
These tunnels will eventually take us to the Towers of Eyes. That's where we'll find the Sentinels.
I have so many questions.
I'm sure you do, and I'll answer them as best I can.
Who is this prophet?
He's a strange one, no doubt about it. But he's the wisest man I've ever met. He sees things. The past, the future.
What is this place? Where am I?
You're obviously not in Tamriel anymore. Think of the most miserable, depressing place you've ever been in your life. That's paradise compared to Coldharbour. And to top it off, well, there's no easy way to say it. You're dead.
Wait. Then how are we having this conversation?
I don't know. Once we rescue the Prophet, he can tell you about the gods and the ways of oblivion. I don't understand any of it myself.
Well, if I'm dead, who killed me?
A man named Menemarco. His worm cult is doing some kind of ritual back in Tamriel. They sacrificed you and everyone in this prison to the Daedric Prince Molag Bal. After you died, whatever was left showed up here. They call you the Soul Shriven.
Soul Shriven? What does that mean?
It means you're a slave and you'll spend the rest of eternity here in Coldharbour, working under the lash of the Daedra. Unless, of course, you come with me.
Are you dead too?
No, I wasn't sacrificed. The Prophet and I were brought here conventionally, if that makes any sense. But we're prisoners here, same as you.
How can we rescue the prophet?
It won't be easy. The place is watched by magical constructs called Sentinels. We won't stand a chance unless we can blind them. I'll tell you more when we get there. And we'll never get there if we don't get moving.
Okay, some minor dialogue changes from the original tutorial. Obviously, they couldn't get Michael Gambon, the voice actor of the Prophet, to do some of the lines. All those lines are from before. But Jennifer Hale, the voice of Lyris, I'm wondering if they got her to come record those lines. I don't remember those lines from anything. Or some of the lines, some of the initial lines, monster difficult. Okay, so this is from before. It's just trying to teach you to roll dodge. Type WASD. So most experienced players never double tap the roll dodge. All right, so we leveled up. We'll go ahead and claim our rewards.
A god of brutality knows of your escape. Hurry.
And we'll go ahead and accept our reward. And we'll load our first. So we have dual wield, and we have our class skills. So we'll go ahead and first thing we'll do is we'll take rune blades, our class skill. And I think we only have the 1 point, right? Yeah, that's all we have. Okay. So we need to reach the Tower of Eyes. So the Tower of Eyes is the stealth objective, and it was the stealth objective, and that's supposedly changed a little bit as well.
We need to distract him.
Here, guy, have a few books.
What was your name again? Target practice?
Okay, and oh, are we going the right way? It says go this way. I seem to remember having to go the other way though. Sneak to avoid enemies. Oh wow. So they've added this hiding spot. This hiding spot's not in the original tutorial, or is it in any of the tutorials? I don't think so. Okay, that guy's gone away. Where am I going exactly? Oh, I'm going completely the wrong way. We'll go ahead and play this the way they want us to. We have this watcher. I'm assuming we're supposed to avoid it. Well, too late for that. Status effects, okay, that's oh, there's a somebody, another there was a necro. Okay, so which way am I going here? Okay, so it looks like I'm going up this ramp.
Try to be inconspicuous. Just got free of this place. The last thing we need is to get.
Okay, so this is an interesting change. I was supposed to go up here and hit it.
Quickly, while he's blinded, we must get to the Prophet's cell.
Now, one of the questions I've always wanted to ask, what bad guy has like a big eye in their chamber of horrors that you can hit and disable his ability to see everything? I can't go this way. It's just a question. So forces me to come along all the way around. Reach the Prophet's cell. So now, do we have Cadwell? Oh wait, we don't get Cadwell yet anyway because we have to do the.
Fool, you will never escape my realm.
Hermamora's wagging tongue. The door's warded. We'll never get in this way.
Talk to Lyris.
Damn it. Destroying the Sentinel must have triggered these wards. We'll need to find another way in. Maybe Cadwell can help us.
Who's Cadwell?
Cadwell is the oldest of the Soul Shriven. After years of torment, Soul Shriven usually go insane and turn feral. But not Cadwell. He was already insane before he left Tamriel. Mad as a box of frogs, but completely harmless. You'll see.
How can a madman possibly help us?
Cadwell sees things as he wishes them to be. To him, Coldharbour is a wondrous place. It's his home. And he knows it like the back of his hand. He's usually down by the river. Let's go find him.
All right, let's go find Mr. Cadwell.
One fine day in the middle of the night, two dead kings got up to fight. Back to back, they faced each other, drew their bows, and stabbed themselves.
Okay, I'm not a fan of his singing.
What's this? Out out for a stroll then? Lovely day for it.
You must be Cadwell.
Sir Cadwell, yes, indeed, a pleasure. And fair Lyris, good to see you, my dear. How are you then?
We're trying to get into the prophet's cell. The door is sealed.
Oh dear. Well, that is inconvenient, isn't it? Tell you what, I happen to know another way in. Much more of a scenic route. Rather a fun little jaunt, actually, full of traps and corpses and nasty beasties filling up the bits in between.
Okay, how do we get through all that then?
Rather cautiously, I expect. Watch your step, hold your nose, and do mind the traps. There'll like as not be a fair dose of running and skull bashing as well.
Where's the entrance?
Follow the river. You'll find the door to the Undercroft at the water's end. Once you're inside, stick to the light, and you'll find a ladder that will take you right up to the Prophet straight away. Do give him my best.
Thanks.
Best of luck. Do check in now and again, won't you?
Well, tell me about yourself, Sir Cadwell.
Well, there's not much to tell, is there? It's the same old pish-tosh, gallant knight, epic quests, rescued maidens. I came to this land when my head was quite unceremoniously separated from my body. Bad luck that, but you make the best of things.
How long have you been here?
Oh, quite a long time. In fact, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if I was the oldest of the soul shriven. Of those who didn't go feral, that is. I know every tunnel and path, every nook and cranny. The others look up to me, I suppose.
How do you know Lyris?
Ah, Lyris. Girl's as mad as sheer Gorus jammies. Heart's in the right place, I suppose. Says she's got to rescue the Prophet to save us all from eternal torment. How an old blind man could do that is quite beyond me.
Okay, how do you know about the prophet, though?
An imperial gentleman. Apparently he was once a powerful mage, but the years haven't been kind. Lyris says he knows of a path back to Tamriel. I rather think that if one existed, I'd have found it by now.
You don't think there's a way to get home?
I hadn't actually given it much thought. Anything's possible, I suppose. Truth is, I've been here so long, this place feels like home. But a good uprising now and again is a pleasant diversion, so where's the harm, eh?
All right, and
Cadwell seems to think this Undercroft is a delightful place. Probably means it's death trap. Be careful.
okay, so it looks like this hasn't changed. It didn't look. I don't remember. Is John Cleese the voice of Cadwell? Is he still alive? I don't remember. Let me know in the comments if he's still alive or not. Okay, the Undercroft. Now they said they changed this to make it longer, and you got the standard lock picking. Well, okay, and they said they changed the timer on this to 5 minutes. I forget what it was before. You can always force lock it. And we've gotten our level 3 upgrade. We'll go ahead and take our skill point and spec into stamina. Okay, and then we'll go to our next class tree and we'll grab you runic joke. Well, if I can actually say these right, it's runic jolt, and this is a this is a taunt. So I'm going to put this on number 5 because I'm not playing a tank. Okay. And we have a gear drop. What are we wearing? Soul-shriven gloves, and we have a good old pair of homespun gloves. And we have another gear drop. I guess we'll go ahead. We're not wearing anything. And I don't see any. I think sometimes they used to give you like a, maybe it's at the end, the Forgotten Warrior or Forgotten somebody gear pack.
one to fight? The god of self-punishment?
Oh, another one rises from the ashes.
In a fair fight, if there were 3 of you.
Not a whole lot of fundamental changes, but
Cage should be just
definitely
there.
some
We
tweaks.
haven't much time. All right. The good news is we made it here in one piece, and the Prophet looks unharmed. Now the bad news. It's going to be up to you to keep him safe and get him back to Tamriel. I'm not going with you. There's a trick to opening the cell. The only way for a prisoner to leave is for another living soul to take their place. I need to swap places with the Prophet.
There's no other way.
Believe me, I wish there was, but I don't see anyone else here with a beating heart, do you? If Molag Bal isn't stopped, he'll destroy everyone and everything we've ever loved.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Once it's done, get moving. The Prophet will know where to go, but he'll need your eyes and your protection.
Okay, enemy number 1. Now, do you do anything different? Enemy number 2. Okay, and we should get this. Okay, we still have to do the pinions.
Freedom! I remember this feeling. Thank the divines you are safe. There is that at least. There has sacrificed everything that we might go free. Her sacrifice must not be in vain.
Can we find a way to take her with us?
I wish that were possible, but I promise you, once we escape Coldharbour, we will find a way to rescue her together, Vestige.
A vestige.
That is the name I have given you. You are but a trace of your former self, a soulless one, an empty vessel that longs to be filled. It is as the scrolls foretold, but not exactly as I imagined.
And why does Lyris call you the Prophet?
That is what I've come to be called. My true name is lost even to me. Years of torment have taken their toll. Quickly now, we must make haste to the anchor.
Anchor?
The anchors are Daedric machines of the darkest magic. Their chains bind our world and pull it towards Coldharbour. I can use one of these anchors to return us to Tamriel, but you must lead me to it.
All right then, stay close.
Up the stairs quickly. We must get to the anchor mooring.
And which way am I going here? This way? Yes.
There it is. The dark anchor mooring.
Defeat the Child of Bones. So let's see if this fight's changed any.
The mortal thinks it can defy me. Futile. Soon your world will be in my chain.
Come, I will protect you.
And Okay. Do we need, okay. I'll wear it because it's medium armor. All right, and we'll talk to the prophet.
The Dark Anchor's portal is high above us. I will prepare a spell to lift us to it. But first, you must reattune yourself to Nan in order to regain your physical form. To do this, you will need a Sky Shard.
Sky Shard?
A shard of ethereal magicka that carries the essence of Nan. Some link them to Lorcan, the missing god of creation. If you collect and absorb its power, it should restore your corporeal form. I will summon one of these shards for you to absorb.
Okay, I'm ready.
Shard of Aetherius, fall upon us now and anoint us with your blessing. There, quickly, collect the Sky Shard. Great Akatosh!
So not a whole lot of wholesale changes there.
Acquire your strength. Let the way be opened. Let these wandering
I don't think anything really changed with that fight. I seem to remember there being something in the patch notes about that, but it may have been just discussing the tutorial in general. Okay, so now, because our character is an Ebonheart Pact character, I could have changed that at the beginning because I have the Any Race, Any Alliance perk from Zos, but I just took the default, and we are here in Bleak Rock Isle, where you would start in the tutorial zone, and that's an interesting, another interesting change. This is the way the game initially launched. The only thing that's really changed is some of the dialogue options, and some of the mechanics training has changed.
As I feared, we arrived in different locations. I am in a place with the smell of burning ash on a hot wind and the sounds of a distant battle. It matters not. You have awakened once again, and we must set you on your path.
How long was I unconscious?
Days, weeks, I cannot tell. The voids between worlds disrupted all sense of time and space. I know only that you were deposited into the sea, and some charitable soul fished you out and brought you to dry land.
What should I do now?
I'm afraid you will have to decide that for yourself. I must focus on searching for a way to repay Lyris's bold sacrifice. I cannot simply abandon her to the wrath of Molag Bal.
When will I see you again?
I cannot foresee that, not yet. But we will meet again. There is still much we need to accomplish.
Okay, so you get 2 skill points. I think you used to get 1, and I think that's part of the patch notes where you get increased skill points. And I think that if you skip the tutorial, you still wind up with the same amount of skill points. And we get the Soul Magic skill line and the Sealed Urn.
Be wary, Vestige. Our very plane of existence is in peril. The threat of Molag Bal looms across all Tamriel, and chaos spreads in its shadow. Danger roams the land and will assume many forms. Do not let it catch you off guard.
Where should I go?
You must find your own path. But perhaps there is a reason for the place in which you find yourself. Explore, search for a cause to lend your hand. Join with others. You might even seek out those who rescued you from the sea. The choice is yours.
You think there are many who need my help?
Indeed. I sense that even now, there are good people near you who face grave danger. They need your assistance, should you be willing to give it. To thwart the will of Molag Bal, we must skirmish with evil wherever it rears its head.
Are there others who would join me in this?
We do not face these troubled times alone. Many shall rise up to fight this tide of darkness. Wherever you go, you will encounter others who share your courage and valor. Help them if you can, and enlist their aid if you have need of it.
Okay, so that completes the tutorial, and I wanted to go through it completely rather than trying to breeze through it. I did let all the conversations play out, a little minor roleplay. So thank you for anyone who went through the tutorial with me, and if you made it all the way here to the end, please take a moment to make some comments about your impressions of the tutorial and the changes. If you're a veteran ESO player, what do you think of it? Anyway, other than that, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.